Hey everyone, this is Senior Stationery and today's review is on the Pelikan No.1 by Luigi Colani ballpoint pens. Thank you, Mr. Legoman. So as you can notice on this video, here I have two examples of the famous and very sought after by Pelican collectors, the Luigi Colani pens. I was able to find on a stationery shop. They actually have a whole lot of these old pens. These are brand new old stock. I was able to get this one, the blue one, which I really like the color. It's sort of a navy blue, and it has a nice contrast on the clicker, has color gray, and the white, which is not like a shiny bright white, but rather like a cream white. Fortunately, as this being a old stock one, it has not been discolored. Even if when I open it to show you, you will see that even on the screw part it's the same tone, so this pen has not discolored. It's pretty much same good as new. And the interesting part on this, on the white one, is has the clicker is black and the logo is printed in black, while on the blue one the logo is printed in silver while the clicker is gray. So let's talk about this pen, what makes it so special, and I'll use first, for example, the blue one. Over here on its side it says, I don't know if you can notice, it says Design L. Colani in cursive #1, Pelican, Germany. And as you can see, this pen is divided in two parts. This lower part, which is a gripping part, it's a triangular, which is pretty advanced for the era, and the top part is fairly rectangular, and on the side is the clicker. It's side clicked, you don't have to push it like in other pens. And if you look sideways, you'll notice the particularity of this pen that looks like a pelican. You can see the eye and you see the shape of the beak. So that's what makes it very special. In some markets it was called a pelican, the beak pen, because it looks like a pelican beak. So this is a very interesting design by a well-known designer from the 1970s and 1980s, Luigi Colani. This pen was introduced in 1980 and it won the IF Design Award in 1981. This is the basic or cheap pen, full plastic. There were metal versions which had like a metal ring on here on the midsection, and had the pelican with a spring action in metal, usually in chrome or in gold plated. So this is the basic one. I was lucky to find this one, very cheap also, because considering that on eBay the prices are very ridiculous and crazy. But this is a very nice looking budget pen. It's a shame that Pelican doesn't make it anymore. It would have been great if they had made a revamped version, considering that Pelican nowadays makes really cheap and mostly made in China pens, if not in other countries. And they tend to make lately pens to be disposed of, gel pens or ballpoints. But this pen is special also because of its pelican shape. But it was the first designer commissioned pen, and again it was introduced in 1980. So this is I think it's a very streamlined and fairly modern shape even for that era. Very ergonomic from the triple shape, the tri-shape gripping area, all the way to the flat clip. As you can notice, it's fairly flat, and the sideways clicker, as you can see. The clicker, if your hands tend to get oily or slippery, the clicker, if you grab the pen from the top, it can get a little bit harder to click. I feel it's more easier to click or activate the point from sideways, but then again it depends on everyone's hand. Talking about my experience, I think it's fairly more easier to use it sideways. This pen, as you can notice, it screws from the middle. But the interesting thing, despite the whole good design and everything, if you pay close attention, it's not well aligned one side with the other, and both happens both with the blue and the white one. They're not very well aligned. That could be the only fault of this pen, but otherwise the design is very functional and interesting, and it's a must for any Pelican enthusiast or purist. And then if we open the pen, you'll notice this uses a typical regular Parker type G2 refill. I changed the original Pelican one that came with the blue one, which is the one I've been using, for a Schmidt EasyFlow 9000 medium, and in my opinion this really makes it really great for writing, ultra smooth. And those who are aware with the Schmidt refill will agree on that. But now let me go back to the white one. On the white one I kept the original Pelican refill. Again, these are all stock pens that they were kind of misplaced on an old stationery shop. And you can see this one is pretty old, says Pelican for documents, that 337. It's still currently produced in medium point, and it says W Germany, West Germany. So this is a brand new vintage refill, and it writes actually pretty good considering that it's an old and Western German made. So let's take a quick test on this pen so you can check it out. I really like the shape, but again, some people could get maybe bothered for the fact that both parts don't get really aligned, but otherwise it's a really interesting pen. It's a collector's pen, considering the shape and the fact that it was made by a famous designer. Luigi Colani was known for using organic shapes, usually curves or natural forms like curves or wavy styles. So this is a very simple shape and ergonomic style, considering the profile of Pelican, like the brand. So that's a very interesting and very nice touch to it, an idea. The plastic seems good, fairly good quality. It feels solid and rigid, but not quite ABS strong, like say for example on the very famous Lamy Safari. So it's a good shape, good quality, but I think this is still prone to break after some sunlight, or maybe stepping on it will damage it. So I don't think it's that truly super long lasting if you don't take good care of it or keep it well placed. But now let's go to the testing. So okay, again, by clicking sideways, that's how we activate the point, as you can see. So let's see, this is the Pelican #1 by Luigi Colani. This is made in Germany, and I'm using the refill number 337 from Pelican. I like the tone of this blue because this looks like the more vintage tone of blue that many refills used to sell up until the 80s and 90s. Nowadays, newer refills from Parker and other brands tend to be more purplish, but this one is still fairly good blue, a nice blue tone, which not many brands still make it. I've seen it in Caran d'Ache, but Parker has made them more purplish. Waterman has made it purplish, so many brands do tend to make it now more purplish. So I really like this tone, and for this being an old stock pen, the refill writes pretty good, you know, like an average ballpoint. The pen feels very comfortable. The triangular shape end makes it comfortable, and writes smooth. So let me show you. This is like a regular Pelican refill, but now I'll grab this one with the Schmidt. So this is again the Pelican #1. This is with a Schmidt refill. So this is much smoother. So I hope